Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. What a Dynamite we have for you. Coming before the 4th of July. Dynamite starts with Dr. BGMD, Britt Baker. Britt Baker makes her long-awaited return back to AEW. What does she have to say after she came back and ruined the moment for Mercedes Moné? Speaking of Mercedes Moné had a championship celebration. And Mercedes Moné decided to join in on the party, and she did what she did to join in on the party to deliver. When she confronted Mercedes Moné, better never known as Sasha Banks. We'll see that heated confrontation between these two fierce competitors. We'll see that coming up. Also, too, wild card. Who Jeff Jarrett will meet? Double J won't believe who he won't meet, but a lot of people had speculated who Double J was going to meet, and we all knew it. Also, to Pat and Daniel Bryanson start off the show with the Wild One Hawk Cup Foundation as well. We get that as well. Chris Stanley against Willow Nightingale in action. And in the main event, Will Ospreay defending the International Championship against Daniel Garcia on AEW's Beach Break, sponsored by Discovery Shark Week. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started right now, here on the AEW Dynamite Ring Report, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Stevie Dix here. Glad you joined us here on the Pro Wrestling Show, presenting the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe, be notified, and find out what's going on. A lot of shocking stuff going on, including what did MJF do at the end of Dynamite. You won't believe what happened. We kind of know what happened, but we'll get to it a little bit later. It was shocking, but we already knew what MJF's own personal agenda was. He's all for himself, and we'll get to it a little bit later. And what he did, despicable and tactless to me, which caused MJF to be another villain like always. MJF started the show wanting to know a lot what's going down, and I think he did try to know what was going down. And we'll get to that a little bit later. What MJF did, he wanted to be in the corner of Daniel Garcia, and I think MJF wanted to play a role, and he played a pivot role into Daniel Garcia's career, and we'll see what's going to happen down the road with MJF and Daniel Garcia a little bit later on in the show. But we got an idea of what's going on. But we kick things off with this. The Elite, the new Elite. Brian Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, the TNT champion. He coming up the heels and win the TNT championship in that ladder match. Jack Perry wanted to know he's going to be joining Team Elite. And Jack Perry put his stamp of approval on what he's going to do with Team Elite and stuff. The Jungle Boy Jack Perry. One thing about Jungle Boy Jack Perry, he's going to join the Young Bucks, the executive vice presidents, and their tag team champions, along with Okada, the Continental champion. And they're going to have Blood and Guts coming up. We're going to see Blood and Guts coming your way in Nashville. And they're going to start a five-person Blood and Guts. It'll be later on this month of Blood and Guts. So we'll see how this is going to play out for Blood and Guts and stuff. Well, we get to this action right here. Chris Stanley was in action as well. She went against Willow Nightingale. Chris Stanley took on Willow Nightingale throughout the whole entire, and she beat Willow Nightingale to advance in the Women's Orange Cup. So Chris Stanley gets her stamp of approval, and she moves on, and she will meet whoever. Let's see the tournament bracket right now. This is the tournament bracket for the women's. We can get the women's division up. All right, quick. This is right here. Chris Stanley, Willow Nightingale. Oh, she won. Willow Nightingale won, and she will meet the winner of Sheila Mariah May. So, Willow Nightingale getting their revenge over Chris Stanley, in my apologies. Will Nightingale wins over Chris Stanlander. So hey, we see that going forward. Speaking of that, we saw the match between let's see, Brian Danielson was in action. Brian Danielson took on off the show. The show started off with that's somebody else. We'll get that a little bit later. Um, right here, Brian Danielson checking on his arms and stuff. Danielson went against Pac in a high intense match. Match was so intense. I mean, the bombs are we tell you that this match right here was so intense from the start, from the jump. You see the roll up right here by Brian Danielson winning. Brian Danielson saying he needs to go and win this Owen Cup as well. This is a picture of Willow Nightingale winning over you know who, Chris Stanline, but Brian Danielson getting the win, and Brian Danielson continuing his momentum. Brian Danielson wants to be one step closer. He knows his time is not for certain, and Brian Danielson doing that and doing it well to make sure he gets a shot at the Owen Cup. Well, we know this. Will Don Callis talked to Will Ospreay. Ospreay saying that he doesn't want to be in the Don Callis family no more after he felt like he'd been brainwashed. And Don Callis said he's going to leave. He's going to let Will Ospreay has his favor. But Don Callis, he's a man of some bad intentions. And he has some bad intentions, all right. So he's going to leave, but you can tell in the back of his pocket he has something planned for Will Ospreay. You just don't know when. But we'll wait and see how that's going to go. Well, Dr. Britt Baker made her long-awaited return, and she got confronted by Mercedes Moné. I think we'll see a future championship match between these two. We know Mercedes Moné does not like Willow, you know who, Sasha Banks, better known Mercedes Moné. Dr. Britt Baker, who's been in AEW since day one. She was the first female competitor to be signed by AEW. And she said she'll be damned if Mercedes Moné comes and take over. But Dr. Britt Baker also revealed that she had injuries and stuff like that, and she was prone. But she also revealed a health condition. Dr. Britt Baker revealed that she had suffered a mini stroke. Dr. Britt Baker saying that she needs some time off and time rest. And she did until the Young Bucks decided to interrupt Britt Baker's moment and told Mercedes Moné to go out in the ring and celebrate. Mercedes Moné did celebrate in the ring, and she did so by celebrating her own means. Dr. Britt Baker said that she wants to challenge Mercedes Moné to a match, and saying that Mercedes Moné is just here for money and here for fame and attention that she didn't get in the WWE. And Sasha Banks, and I think that would led the opportunity and stuff grand. So Mercedes Moné rejected Dr. Britt Baker's offer for a match at All In. I guess it'll be the biggest women's match in history in London. And I guess that's not going to happen. Mercedes Moné said, no, you got to go back to back of the line. And Mercedes Moné did treat Dr. Britt Baker as that. And these two women are kind of fumbling at the mouth. I can tell you that right now. You can tell the feud's going to rise because Dr. Britt Baker is an original AEW homegrown talent. And Sasha Banks coming into her territory and said, welcome in the new face of the company. And she didn't like that one bit. And you can tell right there, Dr. Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné are going to have a feud. They're going to sell the score one way or another sometime this August. So we'll see that happening sooner rather than later. So you better watch out for that. I'll tell you that right now. What's going to go down. But speaking of that, we get to this. Chris Jericho making some edicts, some rules, and some orders that he talked to the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks agreed that Taz should be removed and go home. Removed from commentary and go home. Well, the Young Bucks agreed with Jericho. Jericho took the remainder of that one match that Taz had with his son Hook. Hook was in action in a 6-man tag team match against the Gates of Agony. Hook, Samoa Joe, and Sabata. took on the Gates of Agony, Brian Cage, Khan, and Taviona, and beat them decisively with a submission hold on all three men. Hook, Samoa Joe, and Sabata did on the Gates of Agony with submissions, made them tap out. I think the Gates of Agony should do better, but they make them look weak as well, getting submitted by Hook, Daniel Bryan, and all that. But this was the ending right here. This match, you can tell Brian Keith, um, Big Cass, and Jericho did their damage and attacked Samoa Joe, Hook, and everybody else, and left them laying out of the corner right here. Attacked them outside right here. You can tell right Hook went through a table and went through a table distant. You can tell this feud gonna culminate all in and stuff. Even to the point that Jericho threw a fireball in the face of Hook. So they're gonna write off Hook. They're just trying to get rid of everybody left and right. So Hook might not have nothing to go forward for. So we'll see how this is gonna play out. Jericho and his cronies doing the deed and doing the damage to Hook and everybody else. What they did. Well, we get to the this. Heyman Adam Page. Heyman Adam Page returned at the long hiatus this past spring since March. After not winning the world championship, the Heyman back. He went against Jeff Jarrett. And Heyman Adam Page took it to Jeff Jarrett throughout the whole entire match. Jeff Jarrett felt laid. He wanted to win the match for his former tag team partner and friend Owen Hart. But the namesake of the tournament is namesake for. But Jeff Jarrett was no match for Heyman Adam Page. Heyman Adam Page won this match decisively and did so with attrition. Heyman Adam Page coming back with a strong return. And Heyman Adam Page looking for business and looking for a way to win the Owen Cup. And wants to win the Owen Cup one way or another. After the match, Heyman got confronted by the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks said that they was the ones that helped them lift his suspension. The Young Bucks saying they want him to do a favor for them. They want him to be the fifth man. But Heyman Adam Page said that he wasn't interested in becoming the fifth man. Heyman walked off, and Heyman only focus is to win the Owen. Heyman may be trying to get himself back in world championship contention to win the world championship one way or another. That's one thing I can say about Heyman Adam Page. He's his own man, and he wants to do things his own way. And this might lead to a feud between Heyman Adam Page and world champion Swerve Strickland. We might see that going forward. So that could be a possibility, Heyman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland in a match. So, hey, we'll keep forward and see what's going to go down. Well, we get to this. Daniel Garcia said early on he didn't need he would advise that MJF would come in his corner and watch his match. MJF did. MJF did the Cardinal thing. Heyman Page went against not Heyman, but Daniel Garcia went against international champion Will Ospreay. Well, a phenomenal match it was, but at the end, Will Ospreay retains his international championship. Will Ospreay did so. But this was the shocker that everyone didn't want to see coming, but knew it was coming. MJF went back being a heel again. MJF turning his back against the wall. MJF decided to decided to attack Daniel Garcia, a defenseless Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia was doing all he can. MJF wanted him to use the roll of quarters, and Daniel Garcia did not want to stoop that low to be like how MJF. We kind of had an indication, but everybody I saw do that. I told y'all early on, why is he dressing like Triple H? Why is he dressing like Triple H, who was so bad, evil, rotten, that Triple H turned a new leaf and wanted to be good and wanted to win the championship, and he did. MJF, that was just a facade, and he knew it was a facade. MJF came out there and attacked Daniel Garcia, left Daniel Garcia, left him laying for dead, and did what he did, and it was damaging. MJF did a power drive on Daniel Garcia. Um, you see referees, officials trying to attend to Daniel Garcia. We don't know what Daniel Garcia's condition is going to be, but Daniel Garcia may be out until further notice. Daniel Garcia, who was a straight can wrestler and had some entertainment by dancing, doing that chop Macarena and stuff. But Daniel Garcia um, got attacked from MJF. MJF did what he did. It was a little bit dirty, but hey, you saw how that went down and stuff. But hopefully this ain't the end, and this might be the beginning that MJF may be getting himself to something that his butt cannot cash. I'll tell you that right now. All right. We in the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, let's get to this. We're hearing reports that WWE filed a trademark with the United States Trade and Pattern to get the Super Brawl. There was a WCW event back in the early 90s, and Super Brawl was at that a WCW February annual pay-per-view. And now WWE has the rights to it. We don't know what WWE is going to do. They might use it for NXT. You never know. But Super Brawl comes to WWE. We don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see. Speaking of that, we heard from Super Brawl creator, who won Dusty Rhodes, his son Cody. We know that WWE released the YouTube highly anticipated hour-long YouTube video docu-series WrestleMania 40 Behind the Curtain, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, saying that The Rock was the one that wanted to pivot of WWE going back to Cody and Roman, and he get his shot down the road. Rock, if that's true, Rock is a smart man for that. A lot of people were reporting that Rock wanted to main event WrestleMania and win the championship. That didn't make no sense. Not putting over Roman Reigns and defeating his streak just didn't make no sense. But I get it. But it just didn't culminate like that. Rock was a part-time, and he knows he's a part-time. So they did right with Cody, but they're kind of looking at it now that Cody's losing a little steam and stuff. So as champion, he's not reconnecting. Hopefully, Cody will pick up some steam just coming up with Randy Orton coming down the road. How that might be. Roman's going to get his own feud with the bloodline, inner working bloodline, and see how that's going to affect storylines, bloodline for Survivor Series. You never know. So we'll see. Also, too, Big E, the former WWE champion, praising Reebok and AEW for the Broly shoes, and Mr. Broly was that a visionary, a role model, and Broly did pay the way for that, and hopefully we'll see how that's going to play out eventually. So we'll see. Well, I guess do we got any more, director? Okay. Oh, okay. We also forgot this honorable mention. We see is there's tension between Tony Storm and the women's champion Mariah May. Is there tension going on with the women's Owen Cup? Could Mariah May be a step closer to challenge Tony Storm for the championship? Who knows? This is going to be good. This is going to be even. We'll see down the road. All right, we're going to end that right here with MJF doing a despicable act once again, attacking Daniel Garcia, left him for laying, and MJF going to have to explain his actions this Saturday on Collision. We may or may not do a special with Collision, but due to the fact that we might have the Money in the Bank review show, we'll see if we can fill in for a Collision Ring Report. We ain't been doing it for quite some time because Collision is kind of like a B show in a way. But we know Money in the Bank coming your way. Money in the Bank weekend with Money in the Bank review and predict the outcome, as well as Heatwave predict the outcome and review. So we're going to be fully loaded with a lot of Money in the Bank stuff. So stay tuned for continuing coverage of the Pro Wrestling Show throughout the whole Money in the Bank weekend for more. So, for me being Kendrick Dix, saying so long, thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you later. We'll see you this Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report. We'll see you then.